Welcome to Diverse Orange, our conversations about diversity here in Central Florida. My guest today is Stephanie Nunez. Welcome, Stephanie.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing?
I'm great. It's been a good day.
Super, super. Well, let's start at the beginning. Your parents, I believe, are from the Dominican Republic. Is that right? I think you.
Yes.
Okay. And you were born in New York.
Yes, Queens, New York.
So, did you have much influence from the Dominican Republic culture in your family, or were there others around you that were from that area as well?
Yeah, I have a big family. My mother is one of 12, and then on my father's side, he's one of eight, I believe. So we're very united, and we have a lot of get togethers and parties, is kind of what we do best. And music dancing really is a big part of that. We get together to dance bachata, the traditional music from Dominican Republic, right? Bachata and merengue típico. And my father actually used to play in a band, like a merengue típico band, and that was pretty cool. I was young, but I see videos and stuff. Um, but yeah, and then the food when we all get together is rice and beans and plátanos and all the. I'm vegan now, so I don't get to. I don't eat all the traditional foods now, but I can still eat some. But yeah, my family, um, mango and spaghetti and just all the traditional uh, dishes. Yeah,
But you were pretty young when you left Queens and came to Florida.
yeah. I was four.
So, did you still have family here, or did you have to go back to New York to engage in those Dominican Republic kinds of cultural
Yeah,
activities?
most of my family stayed in New York. We were one of the first people to come to Florida after my aunt, my mother's one of her older sisters. Um, but sh I'm sorry, I was. um, yes, so I would go back every summer to go visit my cousins and my aunts. But the parties would really happen here. My mother was the party house. She would get everybody together. So everybody slowly, all of the family members started moving to Central Florida, and it slowly there's a lot of them. So they all moved here. Now everybody's here, and everybody gets together, and we dance, and yeah.
And what did your neighbors think of all these parties, or did they not know, or did you invite them?
I believe my mom would invite some. We never had any problems because there was loud music, and you would think, right? Um, but if she became friends with someone, she would invite them. And sometimes I believe she would have like some neighbors come over, but not too much. Where, yeah, I think it was enough family in there.
And have you been back to the Dominican Republic?
Yes, I went last March of this year. Yeah.
And was what did you anything that was stood out to you about that?
Yes, I went to go visit the where my mother grew up in the countryside, and it's very interesting. There's mountains, and it's just beautiful, and you're driving on these cliffs. Um, Another thing I found very interesting was the driving. They drive really um, all over the place, right? I don't think I could drive there. And it's also interesting to kind of be in the motherland, right? And think about my ancestors. They might have stood in this very spot, and it's just interesting how far it goes back, the culture and just the people. Yeah.
Did your mother ever talk about missing the mountains?
She has talked. She did talk about it a little bit. How they would grow up. I don't know if she missed it so much, but she would talk about it.
But she was happy that she was here in the United States.
Yeah, yeah, because they lived in the country. In my grandfather used to farm, and my mother got to New York in her teens, so it was pretty early on that she got here to New York.
But so she is American through and through, but still maintaining the food and the music and the dancing from the Dominican Republic.
Oh yeah.
Um, what do you think that kind of heritage added to your life as you were growing up and as you are living here now?
Um, Being united, we take care of each other a lot, and I think that goes with a lot of Dominican families or Hispanic culture. We we get together a lot, and I feel like it's shown me how to um, it's shown me connection with other people, and how to be kind and care, and yeah.
Does that extend to people outside of your Dominican relatives and family?
Oh yeah, because it since I was raised with such togetherness, and it definitely spreads. I feel like I go around sharing that with others, strangers even. Yeah.
Great. And you've had your own personal journey that brought you to a place where you actually do work with other people to give them some things. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I am a breathwork facilitator. And I started practicing breathwork when I was in a transition from because I was diagnosed. Let me start there. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis when I was 25 years old, and um, I started practicing breath work about 7 years after, I would say 7 years after I was diagnosed. And it really changed my life, um, you know, discovering the breath. And it kind of kept me going. And eventually I decided to, take a course, and I got certified in breathwork facilitation, and I just love spreading the knowledge of regulating the nervous system and how beautiful the breath is. Yeah.
And so I take it what you're describing is mindfulness, awareness of your breath, and
Hmm.
how you take control of that and how that affects the whole body.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay, cool. And so, how about the diagnosis? How are you doing with that?
I'm doing good. At first I relapsed. It was my first relapse, and I was using a walker. I was then went to a cane. Um, my vision was blurry. I had many lesions in my brain, and now I I'm off of the disease modifying medication, and I feel like breath work really kept me on that path. Breath work with many other things, but it kept me on the path, and I am 4 years into being off of the medication now for multiple sclerosis.
Well, congratulations to that.
Thank you.
I imagine your family is happy for you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Great. Well, what do you think of Central Florida? Are you at home here?
Oh yeah. This is my home. I've been here since I was 4. I went to elementary school, middle school, high school. All my friends I've known since then, since those days. And my mother has lived in the same house in the same area for 25 years. It's 30 minutes away from everything. I live in Kissimmee. So, um,
Great.
and yeah, I'm in Orlando almost 3 times a week. Well, because Orlando's right there, but
Right.
yeah, it's my home.
Great. Well, I'm sorry that you had to go through that illness, but I'm glad that you are turning it around and being a blessing to other people as well. So thanks for being here. Thanks for what you do. And thank you for this interview.
Thank you, Terry.
And thank you for watching this edition of Diverse Orange.